There's something that happened to them when they were in like elementary school, and it kind of caused this whole snowball effect of hatred for each other. And it's gonna stay comedic. It's gonna be funny, but it's gonna be explained in the next episode. It shouldn't have been a big deal. It's one of those things where it's like it was by accident, but then it got serious, and now she hates me. It's one of those things. I think he just throws back at her what she throws at him, you know. And it's not necessarily hate. It's like you know, like show hatred. It's not like we really hate each other. It's like that playful kind of like cute, like oh I hate I hate you. It gives him a bunch more reasons to want to look into everything, you know, now that he's basically everything that he's been suspicious about has been validated now. So it definitely doesn't change it in a bad way. It makes it better, and for Liam too, you know, it takes this big chip off his shoulder, because Mason is really one of the only friends that he's had that has like, you know, stayed his friend and been true to him throughout, you know, his hard times and just his whole life. So it definitely brings them closer together, you know. So that's probably his biggest secret, is that he's a werewolf, and now that Mason knows, you know, there's really nothing between them. That's something that I know that Jeff had some intentions with that, but that's something that Kylan and I talked a lot about. Was we could feel that kind of like that young, I don't know if the word's rebellious, but just kind of like wanting to go out into the woods and find dead bodies. Like that's like
that stage of life.
That stage of life, you know, we could feel that energy, and we talked about it and said, you know, we want to play that, but do it in our own way and make it original, but also kind of, you know, it's almost like a little bit of a tribute, you know, to the young Scott and Styles.
Well, I'm curious about it, and I actually have been since you guys came onto the show, because you know, Liam's character transferred into that school. So is that kind of a new friendship that blossomed quickly, or did he know Mason before he came to that school?
Talk about this too. In our minds, we've been friends like for life. Yeah, like I have like I know a kid that was born at the same hospital as me in the same day, like next to each other, and like we were friends, you know, when we were younger, and then she kind of like drifted off, and then we hung out a little bit. And that's kind of like how I think our relationship is in the show. You know, we've been friends since very young, like elementary school, and then kind of like we split in separate ways, you know, for a little bit, and then we just reconnected, and you know, we realized that we're like brothers. That's as of right now, that would be what Liam's role would be, because there's no one else in the pack that could do that. And you know, I think the whole thing is we talked about is it would be like, you know, I would turn into the kind of Scott, and Scott would be kind of like Derek, you know, like kind of like still giving advice and being like the older wise wolf that's like there to help the young alpha figure everything out. So that's kind of something we talked about, and I don't know if we're gonna even get into that in 6, but if that were to happen, then that's what it would be like.
Yeah.
There's definitely tension between everyone. You know, with these judges, this unknown, these weird people that are like haunting everyone, and it puts a lot of tension between us, especially that no one knows how to find them or figure out where they are or what they're going to do to us. It puts a lot of tension, and then also the fact that you know, Scott's not so sure about himself right now. That makes a lot of us very uncomfortable, and a lot of us very nervous for our own safety. Because our alpha doesn't, you know, he's not the alpha that he's been.